What's up to my book readers? So look, I have another unboxing. I told you guys that one of my um loyal subscribers works for HarperCollins, and she sends me these. Oh, I should have took this off the couch first. And she sends me, books all the time. These are um the advanced copies, right? And so I have these books here. So I'm gonna go through this box, and let's look at what she has sent me. We're gonna talk about the book, and we're gonna read a little bit about. So this is called Counterfeit by Kristen Chen, and as you guys can see on here, it says an advanced readers edition. So y'all know what I'm talking about. So let's read a little bit of what's on the back of this. For fans of hustlers and how to get filthy rich in raising Asia, the story of two Asian American women who band together to grow a counterfeit handbag scheme into a global enterprise, an inclusive and glittering blend of fashion, crime, and friendship from the author of Bury What You Cannot Take and Soy Sauce for Beginners. This sounds interesting. Okay. Interesting. All right. This is called Bindle Punk Bruja. Bindle Punk Bruja. I guess I said that right. Bindle Punk Bruja. Luna, or depending on who's asking, Rose, is the white passing daughter of an immigrant mother who has seen what happens to people from her culture. This world is prejudicial, and she must hide her identity in pursuit of owning an illegal jazz club. Child, she want to own the illegal jazz club. Lying about her identity. Using her cunning powers, Rose negotiates with dangerous criminals as she climbs up Kansas City's bootlegging ladder. Luna, however, runs the risk of losing everything if the crooked city councilman and ruthless mobster discover her ties to an immigrant boxcar community that secretly houses witches. Oh, it's a lot going on in this book. We got immigrants and bootlegging and witches. The last thing she wants is to put her entire family in danger. But this Bruja, with ever growing magical abilities, can never resist a good fight. With her new identity, Rose, an unabashed flapper, defies societal expectations, all the while struggling to keep her true self and her witchcraft in check. However, the harder she tries to avoid scrutiny, the more her efforts eventually capture unwanted attention. Soon she finds herself surrounded by greed and every brand of bigotry, from local gangsters who want a piece of the action and businessmen who hate her diverse staff to the Ku Klux Klan and Al Capone. Child, will her earth magic be enough to save her friends and family? As much as she hates to admit it, she may need to learn to have faith in others, and learning to trust may prove to be the big. Listen, this might be a book for the book club when it finally comes out. I gotta check the date on this when it actually comes out, because like I said, this is a pre-sale. There's a lot going. There's a whole lot going on in this book. We, child. First of all, it's taking place during Prohibition, so we already got that it's a timepiece, right? The 1930s. I mean, 1920s. Then we have the Ku Klux Klan, Al Capone, witches. We might have to check. I'm going to have to put this one to the side. We might have to check. Lord, witches? That's a lot. That is a lot going on. We got the witches, child. Illustrated Black History, honoring the iconic and unseen. Okay. I like this. I see Paul Lords Dunbar, the Compton Cowboys, Mary Frances Hill Coley, Terry Lynn Carrington. Oh, I love Terry Lynn Carrington. I know exactly what she is. She's a jazz percussionist. I love her. Johnny Carver, a couple of her CDs. History of Rituals. This looks, and it's semi illustrated. So you see, it's got the illustrations, but it looks like it's a mixture of little known, like people that you may not necessarily know a lot about, and maybe people you've heard a little bit about. Like they have Paul Lawrence Dunbar in here, and of course I know Paul Lawrence Dunbar, but maybe that's because he's from DC. We have a high school named after him. I don't know people outside of this area if he's a big name, but to me, I know all about Paul Lawrence Dunbar. The 54th Massachusetts Voluntary Infantry. I know them, but I'm a history person. That's what the movie Glory was about. It was about the 54th Massachusetts. And then you see you have illustrations. This is cool. Fannie Lou Hamer. Now listen, y'all better know who Fannie Lou Hamer is, and if you don't know, you better Google her as soon as you get off this video. Abby Fisher. See, there's people here who I don't know. Ruby Dee and Ozzie Davis. This looks really nice. And this is by George McCalman. This is nice. Now it says an uncorrected proof, not for sale. Okay. I'm gonna have to read through this. This definitely something. Y'all know I love that kind of stuff, child. That's bedtime reading for me. Unbothered. Not Unbothered. The Power of Choosing Joy by Omarion. Shall by. As boy band superstar Omarion lived the classic life of fame, success, and the spotlight, yet today he is grounded, spiritually engaged father and artist whose popularity continues to grow. Grow where? Okay. In his stunning debut, he offers an intimate lens into his spiritual journey that has inspired so many. Okay. I'm gonna just put that over here. I'm gonna just leave that right there. Jollof Rice and Other Revolutions, a novel in interlocking stories. Movie between Nigeria and America, Jollof Rice and Other Revolutions is a window into the world of accomplished Nigerian women. Okay. Illuminating the challenges that face and the risks they take to control their destinies. Students at an all-girls boarding school forge an unbreakable sisterhood that is strengthened during a school rebellion, which has long-lasting repercussions for all of them. Leaving adolescence behind, the women grapple with the unexpected possibilities and limitations of adulthood and the uncertainties of the world within and outside of Nigeria. Oh, this sounds interesting. This is a moving portrait of lives shaped by sorrow and hope, of women who must contend with the unsettling notion that moving forward in time isn't necessarily progress. That sounds interesting. Okay. America Made Me a Black Man. A memoir by Boya J. Farah. Born in Somalia and raised in a valley among nomads, Boya J. Farah grew up a code of male bravado that helped him survive deprivation, disease, and civil war. Arriving in America, he believed the code that had saved him would help him succeed in this new country. But instead of safety and freedom, Boya found systemic racism, police brutality, and intense prejudice in all areas, including the workplace. He learned firsthand not only what it means to be African in America, but also what it means to be African American, and there is a difference. The code of masculinity that shaped generations of men in his family could not prepare Boya for the painful realities of life in the United States. Wow. This sounds interesting. This sounds interesting. I might send this to El Teddy. He might want to read that. Last Summer on State Street. Felicia Fifi Stevens is living with her vigilantly loving mother and older teenage brother, whom she adores, in buildings 4950 of Chicago's Robert Taylor Homes. In the summer of 1999, her high-rise is next in line to be torn down by the Chicago Housing Authority. She, along with devout Precious Brown and Stacia Buchanan, daughter of gangster disciple Queenpin, not the Queenpin, form a tentative trio for a brief moment carved out for themselves a simple life of double dutch and innocence. But when Fifi welcomes a mysterious new friend Tanya to their fold, the dynamics shift, upending their lives for all five girls. As the beloved neighborhood falls down around them, so do their friendships and the structures of the four girls' families. Fifi must make a painful decision about who she can trust and who she must let go. Decades later, as she remembers that fateful summer, just before her home was demolished, her life uprooted and community changed forever, Fifi tries to make sense of the grief and fought bonds that still haunt her in attempts to reclaim the love that never left. That sounds interesting. That sounds interesting. I want to know who this Tanya is. By her own design, a novel of Lowe, a fashion designer to the social register. This looks big. I've never heard of her, but well. 1953, New York City, less than a week before the Society Wedding of the Year with Jacqueline Bowman. Oh, she did Jacqueline Kennedy Onass's wedding dress. Oh. A pipe burst in A.M. Lowe's dress shop is in ruins. 10 dresses, including the expensive wedding dress, a dress that will be judged by thousands. A black designer who has fought every... You know what? Okay, now I do remember. I do, because I remember the black woman did her dress. I do remember that now. And Lowe, this is only more struggle after a lifetime of struggle. She and her seamstresses will find a way to recreate the dress. It may take all day and all night of the remaining time before the wedding, but they will do it. She was raised in Jim Crow, Alabama. Okay, I'm gonna have to read. Y'all know I like biographies and autobiographies. I do remember now. I remember that she did the dress. I remember it was a black woman that did the dress, and I remember that now. Okay. Lord, I got books everywhere. Harry Sylvester Bird. Chinlo. I'm not even gonna pretend like I'm gonna say that person's last name. Gentle, sensitive, and a bit eccentric is 14-year-old Harry Sylvester Bird. When his family embarked on a life of changing journey to Tanzanian life-changing Harry anyway, after returning home to life as usual in rural Pennsylvania, Harry grows ever more resentful of his white, over-conservative parents for their racist, xenophobic, and unsophisticated ways. In Everett and in surrounding towns, Harry witnesses racial profiling and encounters graffiti, swastikas, and white power signs. For Harry, it seems almost everyone around him represents what is wrong with the country. He can't wait to leave for college. When the time finally comes, he heads straight to New York City, where he feels he can live his true inner self at last. In the city, he meets and falls in love with Mary Ann, a young Nigerian woman. Oh, y'all know his family ain't gonna be feeling that. Ooh, that sounds interesting. Okay. Lord, this box was full of books. Hold on, y'all. The Attic Child. 2 children separated by almost a century, bound by a secret. Ooh, this is a thick one. Good Lord, that's a thick one. Let's see what this. Early 1900s, London. Taken from his homeland, 12-year-old Celestine spends most of the time locked away in the attic of a large house by the sea. The only time Celestine isn't bound by the confines of a small space is when he is acting as an unpaid servant to an English explorer, Sir Richard Babington. As the years pass, he desperately clings to memories of his family in Africa, even as he struggles to remember his mother's face and sometimes his real name. 1974, Laura, a young orphan girl born into wealthy and privilege, whose fortunes have now changed, finds herself forever trapped in the same attic. Searching for a ray of light in the darkness of the attic, Laura finds under the floorboards an old-fashioned pen, a porcelain doll, a beaded necklace, and a message carved in the wall written in a language she cannot identify. Providing comfort for her when all hope is lost, these clues will lead her to uncover the secrets in the attic. Ooh, that's interesting. That sounds interesting. On the Rooftop by Margaret Wilkerson Sexton. At home, they are just sisters, but on stage, they are the Salvations. Ruth, Esther, and Chloe have been singing and dancing in harmony since they could speak. Thanks to the rigorous direction of their mother, Vivian, they've become a bona fide girl group whose shows are the talk of the jazz era Fillmore. Now Vivian has scored a once-in-a-lifetime offer from a talent manager who promised to catapult the Salvations into a national spotlight. Vivian knows this is a big break she's been praying for, but sometime between the hours of rehearsal on their rooftop and the weekly gigs in the Champagne Supper Club, the girls have become women. Women with dreams that mother cannot imagine. Okay. That sounds interesting. Honey and Spice by Baloo Babalola. I like that cover. Sharp-tongued and secretly soft-hearted Kiki Banjo has just made a huge mistake as an expert in relationship evasion and the host of the popular student radio show Brown Sugar. She makes it her mission to make sure the women of African Caribbean society and White Whale College do not fall into the mess of situationships, players, and heartbreak. But when the queen of the Unbothered kisses, I'm not gonna say I'm mess up that child's name, the guy she just publicly denounced as the waste man of Whitewall in front of every black Wellian on campus, she finds the show and her reputation on the brink. They're soon embroiled in a fake relationship to try to salvage her reputation to save their futures. Kiki has never surrendered her heart before, and a player like Malaki, I think his name, won't be the one to change, no matter how charming or how electric their connection feels. Nice little, sound like a little romance novel. With a little Afro-Caribbean backdrop. Ooh, it's a few more, child. I didn't realize there was this many books in here, child. Okay. Fault Tolerance by Valerie Valdez. This looks like a sci-fi type. Nothing wrecks Captain Eva's innocent vacation plans quite like an anonymous threat to vaporize billions of people. Hundreds of monoliths have suddenly materialized in space, broadcasting the same looped message: surrender or be exterminated. Is the universe being especially spammed? If you're into sci-fi, y'all know that's not my bad. This is one of my favorite authors, Diane McKinney Whetstone. We're actually going to be reading her book in the book club. We're going to be, this is one of my favorite books. One of my favorite authors. Oh, wow. And this is an advanced proof. Ooh. The Gin short for Sex Targaryen is a 55 plus active living community in a Bulawick setting outside of Philadelphia, child. A lot of her books are set in Philadelphia. She's from that area. Cynthia has reluctantly moved to the Gin as urging her son and quickly forges relationships with Block, Tish, and Lavia. They commune regularly at Tish's carriage house where Block brings the weed, and they dance to James Brown and play pinochle and talk politics and philosophy. As the wine goes down like the silk, they feel a sense of exhilaration and liberation as if they're 40 years younger living at the high-rise dorm at Penn. But beneath the lightness and frost storms gather as the time bomb secrets of their past tick forward. Yeah, I definitely look forward to reading this. Yes, love her. The Two Lives of Sarah. This just has reviews of the books. It says it's an immersive novel of hope and despair and hope again. Each character in this exquisite novel is fully formed. The relationships beautifully developed. The setting alive. The storyline perfectly paced. Linger with this one. It is smart, moving novel worthy of every squeeze of the heart. Okay. It just has a bunch of reviews on the back. Okay. Alright, this is the last few left. I thought. Oh, man. Good Lord, child. Oh, goodness. Okay. Dinner for One. How Cooking in Paris Saved Me. When Santanaya de Craze married her French boyfriend and moved to Paris at 27, she felt like she was living out her very own Noah Ephron romantic comedy. Jamaican-born and Bronx-raised, she had never imagined herself could be one of those American women in Paris she admired from afar until she met the man of her dreams one night in Manhattan. A couple of years later, she married her Frenchman and moved to Paris, embarking on her own happily ever after. But when their marriage abruptly ended, the fairy tale came crashing down around her. Reeling from her sudden divorce, the cracked facade that the picture-perfect expat life, she grew determined to mend her broken heart and learn to love herself again. Okay, I like this. This sounds good. Race and Reckoning, from founding fathers to today's disruptors. So, Spanning America's colonial period through the Civil War and the Great Depression to the Trump presidency and the COVID pandemic, this is a groundbreaking work. It integrates how pivotal decisions and endangered democracy, even as the rise of disinformation has plagued the republic into an ever deepening crisis. Okay. I know what I'm gonna do with this one. Mika in real life. 35 Mika's life is a mess. Her last relationship ended in flames. Her roommate slash best friend might be a hoarder. She's perpetual disappointment to her traditional Japanese parents, and most recently, she's been fired from her latest dead-end job. Mika's at her lowest point when she receives a phone call from Penny, the daughter she placed up for adoption 16 years ago. Penny is determined to forge a relationship with her birth mother, and in turn, Mika longs to be someone Penny is proud of. Faced with her own inadequacies, Mika embellishes in the fact about her life. What starts as a tiny white line slowly snowballs into a full-fledged fake life. One where Mika is mature, put together, and successful in love in her career. So, child, she gonna lie to this girl, and then she gonna get caught in that lie. That's interesting. Michael T. Whitty, the author of Cooking Gene. Kosher Soul considers the marriage of two of the most distinctive culinary cultures in the world today, the foods and traditions of the African Atlantic and the global Jewish diaspora. The creation of African Jewish cooking is a conversation of migrations and a dialogue of diasporas, offering a rich background for inventive recipes and the people who create them. Okay. I'll see if my sister might be interested in this. You know, my sister's a chef. She might be interested in this. R.F. King Babble. Child. 1828. Robin Swift, orphaned by disease, is brought to London by the mysterious Professor Lowe. There, he trains for years in Latin, ancient Greek, and Chinese, all in preparations for the day he'll enroll in Oxford's prestigious Royal Institute of Translation, also known as Babble. Babble is the world center for translation and, more importantly, magic. Silver working, the art of manifesting the meaning lost in translation using enchanted silver bars, has made the British unparalleled in power as the knowledge of silver working serves the emperor's. Okay, this is a thick book and this is a lot. I don't know about this one, y'all, but I'll find somebody because I don't throw no books away. Okay. All right, you guys. This was longer than I thought it was gonna be because there was a lot more books in this box than I thought it was. But y'all know how I do. Some of these books y'all will be looking at as giveaways. So if there's any of them that you're interested in that sounded interesting to you, let me know. Send me an email. And, you might just get a little surprise in the mail. Anyway, I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.